Well, hi babies. Hi, how are you? I hope you're well. I hope you're feeling good. I hope your buttholes are doing good. And if you don't have a butthole, I hope your colostomy is doing well. This is a general message, so take what resonates and leave the rest. It is also timeless, so whenever you find it, it is the right time. I'm just getting over being sick, so please forgive me if I'm coughing and stuff like that. I shouldn't be, but we'll see where things go. Also, I will never reach out to you for a personal reading in the comments. I'm not doing personal readings anymore for the foreseeable future at least, and I will not contact you, okay? That is not me, so please report it. I will not be like, beloved, I see a dark witch in your space and you need to contact me immediately. Here is my WhatsApp number. I fear for your well-being, you know, weird stuff like that. That's not me, ew. No. And I did see 111 on the timer there. I have been seeing that all over today. So that might be significant for you. That means new beginnings, which we gonna be talking about that today. Because I wasn't going to read today just so I can still like, you know, do my thing, get kind of, oh, and I'm in a different room, so hopefully it does feel a bit echoey in here, but hopefully the sound is still okay. So I got moved over and all of that. But while I was taking care of myself and, you know, nourishing myself from after being sick, I decided to start painting, and I haven't painted in, I don't know, probably a decade. So I randomly decided to start painting, and so I was like, okay, you know, asking my guides like, okay, what should I paint? Like, you know, give me an idea. And it kept like telling me to like paint my ex. I was like, okay, I can't, whatever. So then I got like the idea of like what to do. So I have to show you just because it's funny. I painted him and the monster he is and the demon that he is. That's the demon he's possessed by. And the whole reason I'm showing you that is while I was doing that, I was listening to music and I got this immediate download from a couple of the songs that were playing that came on shuffle. And because I kept getting, throughout the week, I kept getting this like hint. It's like, you have to release your ex. I'm like, homie, I did, like, but I don't know what else you want me to do. Like, I don't want them back. Like, I'm like, I was getting agitated with my guides because I'm like, dude, like, I did, like, what else do you want me to do? And they were like, you gotta release him, I'm like, what the fuck do you want me to do? I don't understand. So interestingly, I would highly recommend painting your ex and the monster that they are. Because after I finished it, I started crying and laughing. And it is like really hard for me to cry. I will straight up say, like, I have a Virgo moon, and I've heard that that's like a thing. I've also heard that people with Aquarius moon can have the same thing. Like, I'll be like feeling everything and I cannot cry. And it's like, give me a cry, damn it. I just want to feel this release. So, excuse me. So I was like, I just started laughing and crying. Like, and then I just felt lighter. And I was like, that's so weird, because like, I wasn't really thinking about anything other than like making the lines good, you know, oh, what color should I use? Like, I haven't used watercolor in so long, like, I don't remember. And I was like, I don't know, it was interesting. So the overall message I got was, until you fully release, you know, the people that have betrayed you and stuff like that, And you may legit think like, oh, I did. Until you fully release them, they're not going to get hit with their karma. And I was like, what? How is that? Because there's still that energetic cord, that like, it's like you're still allowing something and you're still like feeling some sort of weight towards them, that there's still an energetic cord, whether you've cut it a million times, because you're still like thinking like, oh, how dare they betray me, blah, blah, blah. You're still holding on to that like resentment, that hurt. So there's still an energetic cord. And like what I saw was like, you know, it's supposed to be like direct current, you know, like electricity is direct current. There's, you know, different types, but instead of there being like a ground and a positive, you know, a positive and a negative, it's AC, so it's alternating current. So their karma could come back at you because you're still allowing that energetic cord. So especially if these people are like really good at projecting their energy and projecting like what they're feeling and stuff on people, energy vampires, you know, or they're like, you know, have gifts that they abuse, that type of stuff. They can like shoot back their karma onto you. Like you can get hit with it. It's like alternating instead of that direct current of like positive to negative, and it keeps going in that loop. It's alternating current, so it's like can go back and forth. So that cord has to be completely severed. And you're like thinking like, yo, I cut the cord, you know, whatever. You still like being like, oh, what a piece of shit, you know. Oh, how could they do that to me? Really just not fully like letting that go and just like accepting it and acknowledging it is still, there's still a cord being created anytime that you think that about that person or whatever. And being like, man, what a fucking demon, man. Like all that stuff, you know, those thoughts. It's still creating some sort of energetic cord, and it allows them to contact you because you're still like thinking about them and whatnot. So anyway, and the songs that I got here, we'll get into it, shall we? I'm so glad to be back. Like I straight up exorcised some demons for sure, but I straight up like changed DNA like during this time being out. So thank you all for your kind words and your prayers. They definitely worked. I felt like your loving energy and I really did appreciate it. So do appreciate it still. And I thank you for all the donations that you sent me while I was sick. That is so cute and sweet. I am so proud and happy of all of you. Like you're just amazing. I'm so grateful, and I'm really happy that all of you are here. I love it. I love that. And you know, who I wouldn't have ever thought I'd be here. So, and that, you know, these wonderful, amazing, funny, y'all are fucking hilarious, funny people would even just like want to watch my videos and interact with me in that way, and you know, send me little love donations and all of that. And you just send me these kind words, and I'm just so grateful for it, and I thank you. Yeah, I you know, bought a new like chair, so I'm not cutting the circulation off on my legs anymore, because that chair was like not meant to be sitting like that. I finally moved in to the other room, so hopefully it's not too echoey. It does feel it's a little empty in here, but we'll get on it. So the first song that I got on shuffle was Another Bad Apple by Ward Davis. Granddaddy was a gambler, never ever seemed to win. Made a bad bet with the wrong man. We never saw Granddaddy again. When then Granny ran off with a grifter. She didn't even leave a note. Them kids had to raise each other, and that's all about all she wrote. That's why mama ain't gonna quit drinking. Brother gonna always be broke. Sister won't ever do nothing, 'cause she's too high on dope. I ain't judging nobody. Nah, it ain't much better for me. I'm just another bad apple that didn't fall far from the tree. Mama walks around in her bathrobe, sucking Stoli down all day. Brother run down the dog track to throw his the welfare check away. Sister's on her back in Bowery, just enough to get her fix. She couldn't earn it turning tables, so she turned it to turning tricks. That's why mama ain't gonna quit drinking. Brother always gonna be broke. I'm just another bad apple that didn't fall far from the tree. I'm just another bad apple that didn't fall far from the tree. Oh, shit. So from this song, I'm getting, I got a couple of messages. The first one that I'm hearing is, anyone that's been doing you wrong, doing you dirty, messed with your money, messed with your, just anything, did any sort of weird shit, they curse their family name, clearly. Especially like with it's like just another bad apple that didn't fall far from the tree. Whatever they've done in the dark, because we have the moon here, whatever they've done in the shadows, in the hidden, and it's, what I'm getting is, it's unfortunate because like there may actually be like good, decent people in their family, but these awful things are going to happen to them because of the shit that they, you know, the demon time that they've been on. All that stuff is gonna happen. It's really creeping me out, so I gotta like turn that upside down. I'm like, I don't want to look at you. Like the little demon thing is like creeping me out from that painting. Daddy always gonna be broke, or sister always gonna be broke, whatever. Oh, brother's always gonna be broke. And so like, see how it's like, what's the word? Finite. Like it's always going to be that way. It's always going to be this. It's always going to be that. It is for a long motherfucking time that these hardships are going to be hitting these people. Yeah. And we've got the Four of Cups here, and it's unfortunate because these people and you know, whoever has done you wrong, they didn't see this. They didn't see, I'm getting, they were so arrogant that they didn't think karma applied to them, or they were just so self-absorbed that they just didn't think that that type of stuff comes back. They may have always had good luck because they latched on to people and like were energy vampires. I'm also getting these people that have like done you wrong, or just, you know, in their family, they're always going to be like addicted. And this is something to also look at yourself and, you know, self-inquiry, and catch yourself if you happen to do this, is they're always going to be, I'll just use this example and like put it how it resonates for you. But it's like, if you ever talk to somebody, or, you know, you meet a person, like your waitress or something, and she's like, oh my God, this happened, and it's just so awful. It's been such an awful time. And you know, that person, that waitress is probably always doing that to like all of her customers, because she likes the attention that she gets off of it. And with that, she's being an energy vampire. She's using that like awful stuff that's happened to her as a way to, oh hell, I don't even know how the fuck I managed that. Sorry, I like spazzed my computer out. I don't know what the hell I did. So they're, you know, there's always something going bad, and they like the attention that they get from people when they talk about all this bad stuff that's happening to them. And that's like all that comes out of their mouth. It's like, oh, this and that. They're being energy vampires. Whether they know it or not, they just like the attention that they get when they're doing it. So I'm getting that maybe this person did, or this is kind of just what their life is going to be from here on out, is just like them talking to people and telling people like, oh, this happened, oh. So they're gonna be able to like still be energy vamps essentially, but that's the only damn thing that they're gonna be able to talk about, because of like all of this shit that's gone down. You know, this apple didn't fall far from the tree. Oh, there we go. And where was I going with that? Yeah, essentially they're just going to have all this like negative stuff to talk about. That's really all they're going to be able to talk about, because it's going to be one after another, one thing after another, just constant. And they may have been like that before because they liked the attention, or I'm also getting like, if you never shared that stuff with anybody, they just thought you had like an easy life, so they like sent chaos into your like energy towards you, magic, or just gossiped, or, you know, did, whether it was like actual magic or just like gossiping or speaking ill upon you or wishing ill upon you, wanting like, oh, they have it easy, you know, whatever. That's coming back on them, and they're only going to be able to like, you know, thinking like, oh, well, because you may have mentioned it a few times, like the shitty things that were happening to you. So, and I'm bringing this up because we can all fall prey to this of like, oh, it feels good to bitch, but you're also like juicing up that negative energy by being like, oh, this happened, ugh, can you believe it? You know, all this negative, like, speak and highlighting only the negative things that happen to you. So just being mindful of that. But I'm getting, if they're like, you never talked about like your hardships or anything, and you're just like, dude, I'm just trying to be like positive. I'm just trying to be like good. I'm just trying to, you know, just work on myself, not be a negative person. I'm trying to, you know, do what I can. They thought like, oh, well, they must have it easy, and they don't have any hardships. So they were like sending this stuff to you, and it's all coming back, because it's not like you didn't have your own share. You know, we all have our trials and tribulations to overcome. And here you are with this Six of Swords moving forward. Yeah, and they only saw like you in your calm energy, or you're like moving forward, because you're always in this like forward momentum. Yeah, you fall back into sad times, negative, you know, we're fucking human, right? We're just doing our best, right? But we can fall back into old habits, bad habits, you know, and it happens. But mostly you were just trying to move forward. And so they had this like, they didn't like it because well, you just think you're better than us. You just think you're good, you know, and they wanted to shoot you down. Because right when I was thinking shoot you down, I saw 1911 there. And we have the Five of Swords underneath that. So we have the Five of Swords and the Six of Swords. So, you know, they saw you always in your like forward momentum, wanting to be a better person, wanting to grow, wanting to, they didn't see what was beneath the surface. So they felt that they needed to, you know, add some more bullshit to your life. Because, you know, you're handling it in the best way that you could at that time. You're always getting better, but you don't go around flaunting and being like, oh, my life is so bad, it's so hard. You don't go around like that, and that made them hostile because they like the attention. They're energy vampires. So they go around saying, oh, my life sucks. This happened, this up, and blah, blah, blah. Feel bad for me. I'm pathetic. I'm the victim. And because, you know, they're surrounded by people in their group that, you know, they intertwine with. And God, I saw someone like sucking on a breast. So like basically they, you know, they're babying like a grown-ass adult, like breastfeeding, you know, from another grown-ass adult. So it's like they're babying, they're pacifying each other, feeding each other the bullshit, and they're like juicing, yeah, be a shitty person, like you don't need to grow, like I'm on your side. Because and none of it was like sincere. It was all just to pacify, because it's like, oh, well, I would want to hear this, so I'm just going to tell them what they want to hear. And, you know, if I act like I'm on their side, I'm going to get that the same. I'm going to get that returned. And please hang in there with me. Like, since I went up through this, like, energetic upgrade, my channeling feels, like, different. I don't know. It's not, like, bad or, like, more difficult or anything. It's just, like, different. So, it's, like, I think I might be working with different light beings or something. So, it's, like, a different way I'm receiving the messages. So, hang in there with me. If I sound like I'm tripping over my words or anything, it's just, like, it's hard to explain. It's different. It's good. It's all good. It's just interesting and different. So all of this going on, their jealousy, their weird, whatever, like human centipede bullshit that they're going on through with each other. Because essentially they're feeding each other the bullshit. And that's like how, you know, one person that didn't like you would get another person to not like you, is because they were able to feed on each other and like pacify. I keep seeing this like gross image of like a grown-ass adult like getting breastfed by his mother, like a 40-year-old man and like a, you know, like a 60-year-old woman, and, you know, getting breastfed is just like, ugh, gross. So that like gross, like highly inappropriate energy of like this, that's not right. Like you would, if you knew what was, if you were in the room with these people that were like speaking upon you, or you would just have, you wouldn't even be like hurt or anything by what they said. You would be just like, oh, I gotta turn away. Like it's because of like the energy that it was. It's very like just wanting to pacify, wanting to baby each other. Where the fuck is the damn lever for this thing? There we go. So, and it just because like, and you would be able to tell like it was a lie, it's insincere, but because these people are just so feeding their shadow, feeding their egos, being ran by these entities, you know, they're non-playable characters. They're, you know, not even sitting in the frickin' front seat. You know, they're not even sitting in the passenger seat. They're not even in the same car as their vessel. You know, the entities are running their vessel, you know, imagining it like I'm seeing it as a car. They're not even in the same car. They're like in the fucking trailer behind it, being pulled behind it. They're not even in the cab of the vehicle. So they're just saying all these disgusting, weird things. And like, you know, I keep getting like these gross images of like people like a circle jerk, like just rubbing each other off and like feeding, like eating each other's shit, like just all this gross, like I'm seeing like really just dirty people living in squalor, very human centipede energy. And like, it's just sad because they're being ran, so they're not seeing it. So with this Four of Cups, they're not seeing any of like this energy, especially with that moon. They're just running so full throttle with these patterns, with their ego, with these entities, their like addictions, whatever. They're running just full throttle with that they don't even see what they're doing. They have no idea. Because, you know, if you're wondering like, why would they do this to me? Because they're not even in the fucking, you know, it could be like say it's a long tour bus and with a trailer behind it. They're in the trailer. They you know, all these seats, like 50 seats or however many seats, you know, those tour buses have, they're not even in any of those seats of how their vehicle is being run by these entities, these other, you know, their ego, anything but their conscious mind, anything but their like higher self is not even present. It's so buried deep. They're just running with these distortion patterns, these this negative energy, you know, these familial curses, entities, whatever's being, all this dark stuff. Their higher self isn't even in the vehicle. It may not even be on the same highway that they're on. So that's like why they're, you know, they're just in this like gross, I'm just like seeing incest. Honestly, and with that, I'm getting that, you know, your ex or whoever, if this resonates for you, if you had kind of like wondered if they were like incestual with their family or had some weird like Freudian thing going on, like with their family, with their mother, father, brother, sister, you know, anything like that, you were right and your assumptions were right. Just because I keep getting this like, you know, like a grown-ass adult breastfeeding with the mother, like, and I keep getting this like incest and like yucky, dirty stuff, like, if you had any sort of inkling, you're right. They were very deeply intertwined with their family. And the reason I'm also getting that is with that another bad apple, like how it's talking about like their whole family. So that may be, is their whole family is already like that, just in different ways. And that's just how they're, you know, whatever they did to you or are doing to you, however that resonates, that's because their family is already like that. And if, you know, there are still like decent people that are like, you know, trying their, oh, you know, I'm still getting that even in this family, just because of how intertwined, and I keep seeing the human centipede straight up. So like they just feed on each other's shit, like, you know, and they're just have some weird Freudian relationships. I mean, like I'm seeing incest, weird stuff like that. That's why this person did that to you, because they didn't have a chance. Like they were born into squalor. They were born into trash energy, you know? And you know how like in these readings, you'll hear like, oh, your royal energy, you know, your royal family, you have, I was just seeing if anything resonated with that reading. I'm also getting like, especially with like the feeding and this insincere, like having each other's backs and like basically pacifying and stuff like that. Whoever did you wrong, they got that so much as kids, and they were never like really punished for, or like not punished, but like taught right from wrong, because their family is so just I'm trying to think of the word I want to use, like caught up, stranded, even in this energy of that negative energy. Like I'm just seeing people on a boat and like after like a hurricane or something, and they have nowhere to go. They have nothing. Like it's not even a boat. It's like a piece of plywood that they're just floating on. They're just stranded in that energy. So that they were never taught right from wrong because their family was so deeply operating from these distortion patterns, these dark energies, these entities, and passing it on to them. Like I'm getting the father, mother, or whoever in the family may have like and this is trigger warning, may have sexually like assaulted those people and like passed on those entities to them in that way. Or I'm just getting it in different ways, or just with their behaviors of, you know, just not, I'm just getting like, no matter how old the, you know, the parent was or whatever, whoever was raising them, just had no maturity at all, and didn't take responsibility for anything in their life, and, you know, basically taught this person, these people that were doing you wrong, the same thing. Like, oh, it's always somebody else's fault. Like, I'm getting like maybe someone got a surgery done and it got infected because they weren't taking care of it like they should have after the surgery. And they went to go sue the doctor, even though the doctor did everything right. It was like their aftercare that they didn't follow. And instead taking responsibility for their laziness, unwillingness maybe to quit smoking or whatever they needed to do, like take care of their diabetes, that type of stuff, take care of themselves. Instead of looking at that and being like, oh, I didn't take care of myself, even though they were warned, they still go sue the doctor, sue the hospital. It's always somebody else's fault. So this person, people were taught at a young age, it's everybody else's fault, not mine. And so that's why, you know, they're seeing you in your little boat, not talking about like the strife and like the, you know, you fighting for your life just to get through these things. And then so they send you more and more bullshit because they're not seeing the truth. They're not seeing what you're going through. So that's why, you know, they're doing this stuff. And I'm seeing they tried to bring, you know, slow downs to your dreams with the 7 of Cups in reverse and the 8 of Wands in reverse. They try to slow down your dreams, try to slow down what they did know. So like it's the tip of the iceberg. They're not seeing, you know, maybe you got a new car and they're jealous. They're like, I don't like that. So they do, you know, either some weird magic, energetic manipulation, or they go cut your brakes or like mess with wires or something of the sort, because they're not seeing all the other hardships that you're going through, and they want to cut you down to where they are or even below them because that makes them feel better, and they feel that's just that the scales should be balanced. I'm hearing, well, it's only fair, like you need to be on my level. Like I'm hearing somebody say like, oh, well, I give to get. Like I'll only give if I know that I'm getting something back. So it's very transactional. They feel that things need to be leveled, and they feel that it's completely fair and just to cut you down. And so they see nothing wrong with that. In fact, they think that they're being like a vigilante, that they're being the hero, if you will. Like instead of seeing that they're being full-blown psychotic and crazy because they're not seeing all the other shit that you went through. They don't have the breadth of empathy within them, they don't even have that, you know, I'm seeing like a gauge. They can't even like get that. They don't even have the ability to move the needle on the gauge of any sort of empathy. They just didn't have that because it's always somebody else's fault in their family. It's always, oh, well, I had a heart attack because I eat fucking cheeseburgers and fries every day. And there's nothing wrong with eating a lot of fat, by the way. I'm not saying it's that, but I'm just saying carbs and shitty food and sugar, that will give you a fucking heart attack, okay? Just had to get on that. Read the new research, bitch. But, them eating donuts every day, them eating, you know, all this stuff and getting a heart attack, it's somebody else's fault. It's, well, Krispy Kreme shouldn't have sent me those, sold me those donuts. It's always somebody else's fault. And so there's no, especially from their family, I'm getting that they have no ability whatsoever, not even like the amount of power to even just move that needle on the gauge of any sort of empathy. They just don't have it because that's how their whole family is. However that looks. And I'm also getting, if you ever saw them and you met their family and you're like, but they seemed that way, they weren't. I will tell you straight up, they are not. I'm getting that, like, if they seemed any sort of like emotionally mature, it was like virtue signaling. I'm getting like, oh, I'm a good person, I'm emotionally mature, I go see a therapist. They don't tell you that they're fucking lying to their therapist and playing the victim and not taking any sort of responsibility in their life. Because guess what? Because they know it's everybody else's fault and they have no, and you know, this therapist, I'm assuming, is, you know, listening to them like, okay, you know, yeah, they're hearing only, you know, this person is the victim. And, you know, they probably go with, you know, when you see a therapist and they're like, all right, do you want me to just listen? Do you want advice? Like, what do you want? I'm just getting that as soon as like the therapist is like, well, what do you think your behavior did with that? You know, or as soon as they start to get them to question that, that's when they start lying to their therapist. Man, what a mess. What a mess. So like this whole family, it's not just this person I'm getting. Like at first, like before this message began, I thought it was just like this person cursing the whole family, but now I'm seeing it as it's, the whole family is already like that. They already have like just different types of gross energy. It you know, it's just expressed in a different way. But essentially everyone's playing the victim and it's nobody's fault. And that's just, there's no empathy taught within that family. That lineage is just missing. And I'm getting like, they would do, if they would like donate or anything of the sort, it's just so they could go brag and virtue signal. Oh, I donated, I helped somebody. It was always to get attention. Like, you know, going to complain of like, oh, my car did this, blah, 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 poor me, woe is me. You know, the waitress going to every table saying the same story over and over again and, you know, playing the victim and getting attention and, you know, getting their feast, their meal, you know, as the energy vampire, they're feasting, they're feeding on that energy by complaining. You know, just as they do that, they also, you know, if they would donate or do something nice, it's so they could talk about it. Oh, I did this, I donated, I helped that person, I gave them this, because I need to feed. And I'm going to feed and get my attention any way that I can because I have no sense of self and I don't know who I am, so I need people to tell me who I am. And I need, you know, just as the whole family and the people around them, I'm using family loosely because it could just be like soul family, you know, soul connections that are just like, they're meant to come together and be around each other, just as you run into your soul family and soulmates, friends, whoever, it could be platonic, whatever. Just as you run into those people, they have the same karmic ass soul family, soul ties as well, soul tribe as well. And this whole community, soul tribe, soul family, whatever, I'm just going to keep using family. I am so sorry about the gross sounds, people. Just like this whole family, it just feels so weird because like I'm seeing these people connect, and this person will say one, you know, the dad is like, oh yeah, I donated to this cause to save children in Iraq or something. And like everyone's like, wow, oh my God, that is such a good idea. Thank you for doing that. And it's so creepy because like all of them are so insincere. There's no authenticity at all to what they're saying, but they're still like suckling off each other and, you know, like still connected mouth to, you know, sphincter to sphincter, because your mouth is also a sphincter. So sphincter to sphincter is what I'm seeing. You know, they're still feeding the shit and they're still eating it, and they're, this is so good, even though it's insincere and they all know it, but they still like play into it. It's very, I just keep like, I'm sick to my stomach from it. It's so creepy. It's very insincere, and I'm getting all of them together. They have like this, none of them feel safe with each other. And that's why it's this like constant lying, pacifying, fake mask shit, because none of them feel safe with each other. I'm getting like this tight jaw, like they're all like on edge, like they don't really want to be around each other, but they still are, because they get their circle jerk. They still get fed. They still get their attention. They still get their pacifying, their suckling. They still get that. But they're all uneasy around each other. They don't want to be with each other at all. Yeah, it's really making me sick to my stomach, because they may also feel that way. They're uncomfortable. Yeah, it's so odd. So this message must be coming out because this is like kind of like, you need that like perspective of like, what the fuck. So that's what the fuck. That's what the fuck is up. Because they're all insincere, all just feeding each other bullshit. It's just really weird, like backhanded compliments. It just feels fake. It's so weird. But yet they still congregate with each other. It's so odd. It's like no one wants to break out of it, because they're still getting some part fed. And they're all like so uneasy around each other. It's like sickening. It's odd. I guess this is just a message that needs to come out. Fuck. I didn't see it going this way. Oh, okay. I understand now. Now that's why it's like showing me over and over again, because I'm like, okay, this is weird. Like they're all like, they still want to be around each other. They still want to engage in this behavior, even though they're uneasy around each other. They don't feel safe. Because they're afraid to move on. They're still indulging with this Nine of Cups. They still indulge in it. They still get this, because they're all arrogant. None of them are confident. They're all arrogant, prideful, hella insecure, just terribly insecure people. So that's why they're afraid to leave, because You're the chariot. You take control. You have the reins in your hands of your life. You will yourself to where the fuck you want to be. And they don't like that because they still indulge in this behavior. And, you know, it's arrogance. They're dissatisfied, but yet they still indulge and drink. And I'm just seeing like animals that, you know, have this limitless supply of food to where they will eat so much that they like get sick or like die because they eat so much. Like their organs burst or something, you know. I'm just seeing like I keep getting this sick feeling like they gorge themselves on this behavior, this energy. They're dissatisfied to where they don't feel well. They don't feel comfortable, but they still can't take control of their life. They're aimless. They can't choose a path. They don't want to take the reins of their life. They have because of this familial bullshit where it's not my fault. It's everybody else's fault. I'm the victim. It's not me. It's them. And it's so weird. And that's why they did this, because it's whether they know it or not, it's this fear. And I keep getting this like drunk on this feeling. So this is a very intoxicating energy that they feed each other and indulge in. It's like getting drunk to the point that you're sick every day is what they're doing. They're making themselves sick. They're disgusted with their lives. They're disgusted with themselves. They're uneasy. They don't feel well. Because I keep getting like this like, ooh, like drunk, like, you know, when you got the spins and you're like sick, you feel sick, and then you have the spins, like everything's just disorienting. They're overindulging to that point, but they still keep doing it. They don't learn their lesson. They don't take control of their life. It's like they still get that intoxicated on this energy and indulge in this disgusting energy. I'm seeing it as like drinking toilet hooch, you know, like toilet wine. It's just gross. Like they're that desperate to feel that feeling that they're doing all this disgusting stuff. They're disgusted with themselves because I keep getting this sick, uneasy feeling, and they still do it. And that's why they are still, you know, they did what they did, this Five of Swords, winning at all costs, because you have control of your life. You know when to move on, even in the shittiest of times, and they still didn't even see that you had all of these hardships. You were still moving on with all of these hardships because you're not out there like, blah, 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 feel bad for me. I need to feast on all these people. And the only reason I keep getting this waitress thing with the tables, it's like anybody that will listen. And, you know, especially being a waitress, or a waiter, whatever, you hold people's attention. Like they have to listen because it's like, hey, welcome to fucking shenanigans or whatever, you know, whatever. They have to listen. So it's like any chance that they get where they hold people hostage and they feast and they get their little, you know, get sick to their stomach, puke, gorge themselves on this energy, even though they're disgusted with themselves. It's like this endless, it's an addiction. It's an addiction, even though they feel terrible. And they're aware that they feel terrible. They have this uneasy, sick feeling. And the only way that they can, and it's like they feel it's unfair because they don't want to take responsibility for themselves. So they feel it's unfair because you have the reins of your life in your fucking hands. You are in the driver's seat. You're not in the trunk of the car. You're not in the back seat of the car. You're not even in the passenger seat. You are in the driver's seat. You have your hand on the wheel and you're like, you know, you may be driving crazy, hauling ass, slamming the brakes, learning how to drive, but you have your hands on the fucking wheel. You are in control. You are taking responsibility. You are looking in the mirror and being like, damn, I've been an energy vampire once or twice. I've done this. I don't want to be this way anymore. I don't want to live in this anymore. How can I change this? You self-inquire. That did not feel good when I lied and got caught. Or I just, I should have just been honest with that person. You deal with your guilt. You take responsibility for the shit that you've done. And it's upsetting, it's disgusting to them because they don't know, with this familial thing, they've never been taught to take responsibility for their life. Anything else? Yeah, there's no accountability within that whole family group, whatever it is. No accountability at all. Just another bad apple. I need one more on that, please. We have the Four of Pentacles upright. Straight up. Yeah, and so that since they don't know how to take like responsibility for themselves, because we have the Two of Wands in reverse, they just hold on and like stagnate in this energy, and they even if people in their family, and I'm getting that they're like just morally weak, even the ones that like want to break free, they're just so weak when it comes to making their own choices that they allow like the bullies in their family being like, really, you're gonna move on, really? And they get bullied back into their staying. So no one has like, and there there might be a few, but I'm getting the majority of these groups of people don't have anyone strong enough to, they may get the idea of like, oh, I need to move on. I need to like break free from this. Like, I'm curious if I take responsibility or if I change something. Like, I'm getting even down to like eating healthy. The whole family, the whole group, however you want to see it, take it as like, as it resonates, will bully them back. Oh, you think you're going to eat healthy because you're better than us? To that extreme, and that person will immediately fold and start going back, because that whatever distortion patterns, whatever curses, whatever familial patterns that like run through that family, that group of people, that soul family, that soul tribe, it's just so embedded and strong, and these people aren't spiritually strong. So it keeps running. They're back to square one. They're back to home base. And, nothing changed. They're back to just, I'm seeing it as like a, like a mother that like won't let her children, like say, she was abandoned by the father, and her father, and then, the guy that she had the kids with, she was abandoned. So she has a lot of abandonment stuff, or like her husband, whatever. It's just she has a lot of abandonment wounds. And so there's several children, and she will do whatever she can to get them to come back home. Like say, or like not be happy and like, without her being like overly involved. So like say that one of the children moves out, gets a job somewhere, meets a person, gets married, all this stuff. I'm seeing she would even go to the extent of hurting herself, making herself sick, or hiring a person to like pull that person away somehow, any way to hurt that child and get them to come back, like reel them back and put her claws and get them rooted back home to where, you know, her abandonment wounds are being pacified again. And she, you know, she's not doing the work and realizing that she's acting out of these abandonment wounds. She's just controlling the people in her life that she can, which are her children. They may be grown-ass adults, but she's still reeling them back because she has all this abandonment stuff and wants to like grasp and hold on to. So like this whole group, these whole family, they all have that, and they're all like weak to that. They don't have their, like, they don't know their spiritual authority. They don't know how to step into that. They step out of line and, you know, they get ridiculed and ostracized, and they can't deal with that. So they just fold back into going into whatever it was. So that may have also been why these people did those things to you, because of like how it, so it may have actually been the family encouraging and manipulating the energy, or just manipulating the person to do that stuff to you. Especially with We Never Saw Granddaddy Again, in that song, it's like, they're immediately triggered by this. And I'm seeing 33333 on my computer, like I accidentally clicked on the link, like, you know, like it went over the, oh, I don't know, the HTTPS, whatever the fuck, like it showed the whole thing, and it was 5 threes, and I have 16:03 on the clock. So that's like the Ascended Masters are being like, yes, this is a message, this is truth, this is like, apparently you need to hear this. But yeah, so like the family may have actually, and I just got this, like, that sickness just came off when I said that, so that's like extra confirmation. So apparently that message needed to get out, and that's going to help somebody. And I felt like this lightness from that, so that's going to help somebody, whoever needs to hear that, become more enlightened, more like help release that. Hearing that, like, it may not even been this person like necessarily doing it. It may have been the encouragement of the family to do this as well. Like they were all in on it, as like, even if it's like hard for you to understand and like comprehend that, because you're like, well, they acted this way, like what the fuck, like I don't understand, that doesn't make any sense. That it was encouraged in some way. It may have been just like energetic, because I'm looking at this 4 of Cups, like it may have not been this person like was openly coerced. It may have been like some energy work, just with like, I'm just seeing like the entities and stuff like that in this family are like running rampant. There are like little to no people in this group, this soul tribe, whatever, that has like come up against you or whatever, that has like any control over themselves. They have like, they just let the entities, the distortion patterns, the family curses, all of that just run their vessel. Like they have none of that. No control over their lives. They do not take the reins in anything. It's the demons, it's the entities taking the reins. And so no one in their family has been able, so that might be the family curse thing. And by coming up against you, they've like just preserved that curse even further for their family. Because I'm seeing it like something like those brains in jars, and you know, stuff that is sitting in formaldehyde and kept so it doesn't disintegrate. And wasn't there some like emperor or something, some leader of some sort that they keep, someone can tell me in the comments, but there's some like leader or something. I want to say it's like in Eastern Europe or something that they kept preserved, and is like still like they have to like put it like they have to keep juicing it with like formaldehyde and injecting it, and like you can go visit this past on emperor's body or whatever kind of leader they were. I'm just seeing that like we coming up against you, and you know, even you were just minding your own motherfucking business, trying to move on, taking control of your life, just fighting all this other bullshit that you have going on in your life, trying to be a better person, undoing your own family bullshit, your own stuff, you just that you were born into. This family, this group, this soul tribe, whatever you want to call it, that came up against you, they preserved it, they've pickled this curse, this familial whatever, however they operate, their, I guess, just spiritual weakness, you know, whatever curse has been on their family name, they've only just preserved it. They've, you know, it's like every time that they try, you know, spoke ill upon you, tried to come up against you, and just other people that were just good and trying to be better, and you know, fed on your energy, did all this stuff, that only preserved this. And coming up against you, it's like it like hired this, you know, because I'm getting that. I don't even know what to look up for that. Somebody I know will know in the comments what I'm talking about, but it's like you have this endless team, devoted team of procurers, not procure, because that means to like harvest, or no, is that whatever, like people like to like inject this formaldehyde and hold it, preserve it, you know. So it's like this endless team, you know. Anytime that, you know, this starts to disintegrate and fall off, there another person pops up ready to like put like wax parts on this curse, on this family lineage, to like keep it going. So there's no way that it could even disintegrate or like fall away, or, you know, like lifetime after lifetime that it could like stop. It's like anytime that they did anything to you, spoke ill, it was just like it hired a whole fucking team per lifetime to keep that going, to keep it preserved, to keep it looking fresh. So this curse is just going to constantly continue to cycle in this soul family because of the shit that they wanted to do to come up against you. Because, and I'm not saying like you're just that special. I mean, you're very special, and I love you. Thank you for being here. But because you didn't do a motherfucking thing to them. You never spoke ill upon them. You didn't even look at these people as like, oh, whatever. Like you never judged these people. Like it may have been like something silly as like, oh, you're gonna eat mashed potatoes with that too? Okay. You know, like that type of thing. Like, all right, well, you do you. Like it may have been a little bit of a, maybe you shouldn't, you know, you lost one of your feet from diabetes. Maybe you shouldn't have another piece of pie. You know, like that type of thing. Like you may have had that kind of judgment, like, you know, it is your life, but I'm just saying you are hurting yourself right now. So like you never judged them, you never spoke ill upon them, you never wished ill upon them. And because of that, you were just minding your own business, wanting to move on, wanting to have a better life. And there's like a bunch of leaves just suddenly falling off the tree, like all at once. Like you're just trying to undo your own patterns. You're just trying to work on you're taking responsibility of your own self. And that's why it's preserved this curse. It's elongating it. It may have been like, you know, a limited amount of lifetimes, like there, you know, just because of whoever put the curse on their family lineage or whatever, didn't have the length or like wherewithal to understand that, like, you know, these lifetimes are infinite, or like they were like, oh well, 100 lifetimes, you know, they just said it, you know, just whatever the fuck, like however they cursed it, so that it would have eventually fallen off, but because of what they did to you, it's like forever. And I'm not laughing at this family, I'm just laughing because I made a, what is it, Sandlot? Yeah, I think that's Sandlot movie. Yeah, so they just damn decided to go on ahead and curse themselves. Okay, babies, I am going to move into another reading, but I will end this here. I love you so much. Thank you for doing all the work with me and us and engaging with this channel, and thank you for all the donations. Thank you for being here, and I love you all so much. Thank you. Love you. Bye.